in Sniper Elite, I used to shoot off people's balls all the time. It was the only thing I did in the game.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I was
Honestly,
just
I
constantly shooting people's balls.
I think so many more games should use the X-ray thing, I swear.
I've been wanting to talk about different types of gamers, right? And how...
Because that's why you asked it.
Yeah, because I asked Ray, she normally likes like cozy games, card games. Like she specifically told me she doesn't like it when games stress her out. So obviously she's not going to be playing fucking Dark Souls, right? You know what I'm saying? She's not going to be playing Near Replicant on the hardest mode, dying over and over again to regular mobs because their HP and defense is so fucking high. Right? And then it becomes about like a pride thing for me. I'm just like, I can do this. I got this. Okay, I'm just gonna get good, right? Ray is not that type of gamer, right? She likes cozy games. And I know it's hard to who's crunching?
Jill.
Jill.
I thought
Jill,
did
you guys notice that this fool was just
Yeah, he does this. He's essentially a silent commentator.
Oh!
I was being careful while I was crunching.
Yeah, I didn't hear Ray crunching at all, but Mr. fucking has to be the center of attention over here.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to refer to me by Mr. It makes me feel so important.
Jill, you say you enjoy Dark Souls games. Why the hell do you rage at them when you suck? Terrible.
Bro, have you ever watched a League of Legends game, bro?
Good question.
Those. Oh, that's right. Oh, sorry, touched a nerve there. Sorry. You specifically said that you don't like it when a game like stresses you out, right? So,
yeah.
Is there anything that would get you to leave that comfort zone and ever play something that's a little stressful?
It's like with Zomboid though. Obviously, that reminds me of Sims a bit. So, I'm more inclined to play that game. I've put in the most hours of any of my Steam games on Zomboid now.
And that's true. And Zomboid's not exactly
above all my cozy games.
And it's also a stressful game too. So that I didn't even think about that. I forgot about the fact that you play Zomboid with us, and that's a stressful game.
Can I ask you something too, Ray, about that?
Yeah.
Do you feel more inclined to try a challenging game, stressful game, if you like have someone to play with?
Yeah, like that's the thing. I played very little of those 130 hours by myself on Zomboid. Like, I have always played with other people. Because, like, that game stresses me if I play it alone. Like, genuine stress.
So, moral of the story is suffering together is suffering better.
So, you're more willing to play, like, a stressful game with other people, right? Like Jill said, we're stressed out together. Okay, that makes sense. So, like, because I know you were saying if something looked good, and that's why I was going to ask you. If something looks really good, like, 'cause obviously Zomboid doesn't look good. Let's just be real. But if something...
It doesn't look good, it just has, like, dollhouse kind of vibes. Like
The Sims, right?
Yeah.
So, Jill.
Hi guys, it's me,
God, dude.
Jill. What a pleasure it is to be here, Elena. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so that's The Sims 1. That's The Sims 1 because I recognize the fucking burglar. That motherfucker broke into my house all the goddamn time. Let me ask Ray a question real quick, then I'll get to you. What is your favorite game at this time? Like your personal favorite, not necessarily what you've played the most of, but what do you enjoy the most? She's like, this is hard. I didn't know this was gonna be a fucking...
Yeah, probably Stacklands, even though that's a really casual game, but if I had to think of one.
I mean, that's kind of like the games that you seem to be into, though. You're into casual games, so, like, it makes sense that would be... Also, I want to play Stacklands, just as an aside. I want to play Stacklands. I just haven't got it yet.
I think you said that you didn't like card games. You said you were trying to like them.
I keep wanting to like them. And then what happens is I buy them, I play them for a little while, and then I'm like, this is not for me. It's because of the gameplay. Alright, so now, Jill, it's your turn. I know you've been waiting impatiently. I know you've been waiting. So...
Nah, it's fine. Everyone deserves their spotlights.
Let's start out with... What kind of games do you like? Do you prefer? What kind of gamer are you?
I like games that challenge me. The thing is, I don't want an impossible game, but I want a game that will I think I mentioned it when you did that Get Good video, right? That I like games that force me out of my comfort zone. They show me a challenge that I must overcome. A challenge that is not easy. And yeah, that's the type of game I like, really. So that's why I like Elden Ring, Souls games. That's why I like Cyberpunk.
I was gonna
That's why
ask,
I
do you
like-
feel like Cyberpunk actually challenges you and has you leave your comfort zone?
The thing about Cyberpunk, right, is that it has a difficulty slider. I'm playing
Oh,
on
I
hard
didn't
mode.
know that. You're playing on hard. Okay. I didn't know it. Oh yeah, you did
So-
tell me that.
So yes, because I'm playing on hard mode, I have not played Cyberpunk before, and I started on hard mode, so I don't know what normal is.
Mhm.
Hard mode is
Sorry, there's stuff going on in the chat right now. So we're trying not to laugh.
I don't want to outright say what's in chat.
No,
but
don't bother. Go ahead.
It's I don't know. The thing is, like, Cyberpunk is interesting. Hard mode is hard, okay,
Yeah, I
but
saw
you
you
are
playing.
given,
It looked hard.
but you are given so many options that make you really, how do I say this? Adaptable. The thing is that Cyberpunk is a first-person GTA game with a very unique aesthetic. So it's the average, oh, you're a criminal fighting the system, yada yada, so it's kind of generic in that sense.
Well,
I must
yeah,
admit.
but I'll be honest, I don't think people really care about it being generic. I mean, every game is... When you are as old as me, and you have been playing games and reading
Everything
books...
is generic.
Everything's generic, exactly. So I don't think people... I think the real problem with Cyberpunk is exactly the thing I bitch about all the time, that I spent money on it when it came out, and it was a buggy mess. But I don't think people are mad at it for being generic. It's hard to be original in this landscape. And that's why I'm such a picky gamer, by the way. Like, I'm always looking for something original. You'll notice my favorite games are very original.
Unique.
Yeah, they are. They're very unique. Zomboid, Nier Automata, Death Stranding. These are unique games that are
That's the thing.
experimental.
Maybe-
You say those games, and I can't really think about a game that's like
There is no game like Death Stranding. The closest thing to Death Stranding is sort of
the closest thing to Zomboid, The Sims.
The Sims. The closest. Yeah. Were you gonna say something, Ray? By the way.
I was just gonna say about cozy games. You get like Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and
Stardew.
Stardew Valley, but it's like every time there's a new one of those kind of games, that always is the same kind of premise. It's always like a farmer or like just something along those lines. You don't really get unique ones of that anymore.
That's true. And you know what? Even that Graveyard Keeper game I was playing, which you guys have seen me play, even that game is very Stardew. Like, it takes beats from Stardew. And I think the one thing that I don't like about Stardew Valley, I've tried, you guys. I've tried to play Stardew Valley because I really wanted a farming sim where I could date people and do all this stuff. And you can do that in Stardew Valley, right? You guys, it was so fucking boring at first, right? Because there wasn't like a clear objective at first. It was just like, oh, go here, talk to these people, go talk to here. And I ended up doing the cardinal sin, y'all. Going to Joja Mart or Joji Mart, whatever the fucking place is called.
Joja Mart,
The
actually.
the Filthy Frank Mart with Stardew Valley and like anything that's like a cozy life sim. They don't really give you, like, you can create your character, right? But it's like, this is what you're gonna do. Whereas with The Sims, it's like, create your character, here's the whole world. It's your oyster. Just piss wherever you want. Do whatever you want. Light some Sims on fire. Who cares? Remove the ladder. Do what you want to do, right? Like, and I'm always looking to replicate that experience right there. Where I can just walk into the world as a Sim and just figure out what I want to do. What kind of job do I want? Do I want to go to college? Do I want to have kids? Because that's what I like about The Sims, is you're playing life. It's a life simulator, right?
Yeah.
So when you... Go ahead.
I play it in such a way that it's probably just very like methodical, the way that I play it, because I always make like my Sims have the best things, and they're always like really good at studying. But it's like I don't know, like, I always do legacy families, and I always want to make sure that they're, like, good.
Me too. You know, you've seen Magnus's family. He's on generation. He has like 10 kids. He's got like 10 kids, and his kids have kids. You know what I'm saying? He's going.
Yeah.
He has like quite a few grandkids, and those kids are growing up. And that's what I like about. That's what I'm always trying to replicate in something like Stardew Valley. I'm basically trying to replicate a fucking Sims game. But it just doesn't give me the creativity, like you said. It doesn't give me the uniqueness. It wants me to do one thing, which is farm. And I'm just like, I want to do other stuff, you know?
The simulator games are very unique anymore.
They're not.
But it's like, well, especially for like the pixelated ones, because they all end up like with the same premise. I don't know if this like opinion will get me thingied, but it's like, it's refreshing to finally see more that are trying to like tread on like the Sims, like their whole thing.
Yeah.
'Cause no one's like done it in depth. Like you get simulators like cooking simulators,
right?
blah,
Or
blah, blah,
and it's
all
always
these
one
other
thing.
simulators, but it's just one specific bit.
And I hate
it. Play with life thing.
Especially because with The Sims, they are an abysmal franchise right now that is holding people by the balls. If you want a life simulator, you have to play The Sims, right? And it's like they own that. And like, so I'm really glad to see other games trying to tread on like Life by You, which is coming out in June, if it ever comes out. And Paralives, which I think will actually fucking is gonna have a lot of Sims players migrate. We were still on Jill here. I know. He got cut
go
off.
back to Jill.
Yeah, go back to Jill. Okay.
Although I'd like to mention something about Sims games.
Go ahead.
And how actually one of them, English, Bannerlord, it kind of goes with my challenging games, you know, gamer persona, so to speak. Because in Bannerlord, time passes, years go by, characters grow old, they die of old age,
That's
and new
super cool.
generations come as well.
What? That's
Yeah,
super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And while you were talking about Magnus and his, you know, illegitimate children, it made me think about that. And how, funnily enough, there's a bit of a compromise, like between the two, between, you know, Sims game, casual stuff, and challenging games like that involve tactics, that involve diplomacy.
That's what I figure
all that intrigue and
Zomboid
stuff.
is. Zomboid seems to be a compromise between you want a fucking life sim, fine, but you're gonna deal with some fun shit too. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna deal with some hard shit. Because personally, I find Sims games to be fun. So when I say fun, I don't mean it like that, but I mean hard stuff.
The thing is, Sims games, and I'm talking about like the actual Sims franchise, okay? They are entertaining for a while, but what I don't like about them is they lack challenge.
Yeah, they lack any kind of... unless you're playing The Sims 3, but you have to have a specific add-on to get that, right? You gotta pay money to get that. Yeah.
Or you... Yarr!
Or you pirate it, yes, absolutely. Because The Sims 3 had an add-on called World Adventures, which is very video gamey. You were like going through dungeons, collecting artifacts, you were going to talk to people, you actually had to go through RPG-like missions. Ray, I don't know if you ever played World Adventures, but you actually had to go through RPG-like missions to get shit done. Okay, so you like challenging games, you also like cozy games and / casual games.
If you give me a casual game and a challenging game, of the more or less same quality on what they are, I'd lean towards the challenging one.
Right.
Because when I play a game, I want to... it's not necessarily... Okay, it's kind of experiencing something new, but I like overcoming challenges. I like feeling fulfilled from accomplishing something within a game. I don't get fulfillment from playing like Sims games.
You want to know something interesting?
From playing games without challenging them. I'm saying challenge so much. It's the best word I can use.
No, you want to know something funny? So, when I used to play The Sims, the actual Sims franchise, I used to cheat a lot. Cheat to build whatever house I want, get whatever car I want. Motherload, yeah. And then one day... Yep, and then one day I decided, you know what? I don't want to cheat. I'm going to make this game hard. And let me tell you, if you don't cheat, the game is actually kind of hard. You might be starving depending on which iteration you're playing. If you're playing The Sims 2, you're gonna be broke.
Yeah,
if you know, you're gonna be broke as shit, and it's
We're
gonna be
the broke family.
Yeah, exactly. Like
without cheating.
yeah, exactly. So I stopped cheating and I experienced the game without having a ton of money to begin with, having to build up my own house. And let me tell you something. The first time I had a sim crack $1 million without cheating, it truly did actually feel like the way it feels when you overcome a boss in a video game. Like, I felt really good. I still remember that sim. I haven't saved my gallery. His name is Sam. And I remember when it went up, it ticked up to 1 million. I was like, oh, I made $1 million without cheating in the game. You know what I mean? And it just felt really good. Now, of course, it didn't last that long.
I hope you don't crucify me for this, but for the viewers at home, I've only played The Sims 4, which is known for
it's
being
not your fault.
subpar.
It's not your fault, man. It's not your
So
fault.
when I say Sims, and forgive me for this, I'm using Sims 4 for reference. Was that all you had for me, Jesus?
What? I asked you the same. Oh, what's your favorite game right now?
My favorite game right now, I fluctuate a lot because I don't hold interest for long. I mean, shit, I had a little Titanfall craze for like 3 days, so that's how I operate. Right now I'm on Cyberpunk. I'm enjoying the game a lot. It's the only game I play at the moment.
Okay, that's
Even though
interesting. So I'm surprised you didn't just say Elden Ring.
Because Elden Ring, I like the game a lot, but it gets repetitive.
Well, you're like on your
And-
4th or 5th New Game Plus, bro. Like, so like it's gonna be repetitive because you're playing it over and over again.
You know, I have the same thing with Minecraft, for example. Minecraft, you know, every few months I get that little craving. Oh, you know how it is. You're just chilling, and one day I'm like, wait a minute, I have this game. Let's play it. So I do.
Okay.
That's why I like having a wide range of games to choose from, because it guarantees that at no given moment I will be bored, you know?
Sorry, I'm kind of stuck on the fact that you don't actually have like a set favorite game, and I noticed Ray was the same way. Like when I asked her, what do you enjoy the most? She was like, like, if you ask me what my favorite game is, I will answer so fast. I will answer before you finish your sentence, right? I'll be like, Nier Automata, right? Like,
I can answer other questions that
It's trending.
quickly.
yeah, but I find that interesting though, because it either means you guys just haven't found that game yet that just does it for you, or you're just not, you're not the type of people who get attached to one thing. Like, I get attached to shit. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Well, mate. I mean, I don't know. Ray has her Biffy Clyro obsession, and I've got my passion for obsession, right? So, like, but maybe you just haven't found. Because for me, the reason why Nier Automata is my favorite game, and likely always will be, is because it kind of changed my perspective on things.
The game Elden Ring is by far the game that has impacted me the most.
Excuse me. Sorry.
On a mental level. I believe it changed me as a person. Not too much, you know, but to some degree. I came
I
to
don't really
respect
get it.
the struggles of life. It takes strength. It takes determination, ambition, insistence to overcome a challenge. Elden Ring taught me that.
Okay, so here's my theory, because of course I have to form a theory about why people younger than me think the way they do. I can't just accept that maybe you guys think the way you do.
Let me guess, ADHD brain.
No, kind of, but not really. I wonder, it's because of what you just said. You just said, like, it changes, right? I wonder if that has to do with the way that your guys' generation consume content. But you know what? That's a different conversation for a different day.
Can I ask you something? When you were our age and you looked for a game, what did you want out of it?
Narrative. So I'm, believe it or not, my favorite games are narrative based. I mean, don't believe it or not. Look at Nier Automata and Death Stranding. Those are my top 2 favorite games. They're both narrative based, right? as much as I talk about liking a challenge, I do like a challenge. If it's got a good, solid narrative, I'm there
Yes,
for it.
of course. The thing is, like, I can't get into a game with a weak narrative.
Me either. That's why. Okay, I don't want to step on any toes here, but one of the reasons why I've never bothered to get good at Souls games is because I'm not interested in the narrative.
Yeah, okay, I'll actually agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it's like not that interesting. Like,
Yeah.
or I
And the
heard
ring
it's
is
interesting, but you have to look for it, right?
You have to look real hard, and even then, Elden Ring is cool.
So, like, in the past, I would have said Stardew Valley is my favorite game. I haven't played that in... Well, I did play it briefly, like, the other month, but I hadn't played it for a year or so. But for a while, that was, like, my favorite game that I'd say. But, like, if I haven't played it for a while, I don't count it as my favorite game anymore. I don't have that many games that I play, though. So I'm usually just like, oh, what's the game that, like, I actively play?
I've
and, like,
identified the
have
difference.
interest in right now.
I figured it out. It's because most of the games you guys play are like... Okay, so back in the day, you would get a game, and it was one game. And you played it from beginning to end, and then it was done. And then you're just like, okay, I like that game. Next.
There's no end to
There's
Stardew
no
Valley.
end to Stardew Valley. There's no end to Project Zomboid. There's no end to those card games that you like. Yeah, well, I have no idea what kind of games. Dave has told me about 2 games he likes. I played Valheim with him, and I know that he has had experience, unfortunately, for his mental health with League of Legends. Now,
God damn it.
like, that's all I know, though. So as far as I know, those might not even be the kind of games he likes. That might just be what his friends like. So let's start with the simple question. Do you have a favorite genre of game? And what is it that attracts you to that genre? That's not a simple question.
Do you want a more elaborate answer?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a podcast.
Shut the fuck up, Jill.
Speaking.
Oh.
Wow.
All right. Okay. So, I suppose to elaborate more about myself and what types of games I like, I should go back to the very beginning of when I started playing games. Okay.
Yeah.
This might be a bit, so strap in and take your popcorn. I'm sorry. So, growing up in a grandparent's home, you don't necessarily always have a computer on hand. You need money for that, and essentially, decent amount to purchase a PC. And at the time, it
Jill had to go
was-
eat dinner.
That's fine. It was very expensive to buy a PC. So eventually, my aunt brought me a computer with a screen, everything set up, keyboard, mouse, yada yada. The essentials that you need. And I believe this was around 7 to 8 when I was still a kid, essentially. The first game I ever played was shooting chickens.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Was it the old school one with the gun? Or, oh, dude, I played that when I was a little ass kid, when I was like 6 or 7.
The reason why I got into that game, my grandparents loved the hell out of it. Every time I came back from school and they knew that the game existed, they always asked me to turn on the game. So every time that I showed them how to turn on the game, besides when I'm not home, I got back to seeing them playing that game. They had a high score, further than I did.
They were playing when you were around.
They were playing when I wasn't around. Okay?
That's pretty funny.
Now, I started getting internet at 10. So my entire world just expanded, from where I was offline to where I am online. I began playing games like Minesweeper,
Oh
Solitaire.
shit, I love those games.
Truth be told, I got a better PC at around 11, 12, I believe. Maybe 13, I don't recall, to be honest, but somewhere around that ballpark, from 11 to 13. That's where my world opened up. I installed a particular game for kids, or teens at their early, decade, called Roblox. I came across many different individuals. People who were older than me, people who were younger, people with different ideologies from different countries. I started to expand in terms of what I knew about the world, just besides what I learned from school. I began to learn that it's not just black and white. It's all colors, you know what I mean? It's like
You
a
began to
person
see
thinks
different
like this.
perspectives. That's-
Exactly. Now, considering I'm living with my grandparents, not with my parents, you can already tell my current mental situation was exactly all there. I was a little bit upset. There was a set of circumstances I didn't like.
Obviously.
So
yeah,
how
yeah.
do I get rid of that? I delved into roleplay.
Oh, like with on Roblox
I-
games?
Yes. I started to become different people. To
Interesting.
delve into a world that wasn't mine, right? Because that's how I found my escape. For a while, I couldn't console with it, you know? So I figured the best way I can console myself is by becoming someone I'm not for a while in those types of games. And on those games, and on those games of that type of genre, I met a lot of people that are now my Discord friends. You see, not only did I learn about the world way more than what I knew prior, but I even made some friends out of it. That was a huge confidence boost for me as well, because I figured out that I had the means to make friends, right? I had the means to establish connections. That made Roblox for me a memorable game, a memorable platform, because of it, I wouldn't be sitting in here, right? Because I met Jill on Roblox. I met many different people on Roblox. I met my ex-girlfriend on Roblox. Hell, I met a lot of people, you know? And from there on, I got Discord. So now my brain's all over the place. I got a better PC. Just many new games coming out, like Phasmophobia, for instance, Mario Trauma, Subnautica, Call of Duty, those sorts of things, right? So the first games that I played were mostly single player, like Diablo. My classroom had PCs. That's where I understood Minecraft existed, and I started to like the game. That's where I learned Diablo existed, and I started to like Diablo. That's where I started playing Happy Wheels.
I never even heard of Happy Wheels.
Oh, it's great.
No? Okay.
I never heard.
Happy Wheels was a sort of browser game where you played as different types of characters, and you get dismembered very horrifically.
It sounds like a Call Me Kevin game.
Red Dead Redemption 2, that game, I'll be very honest, is actually fantastic. Now, you see, you play, as you may have noticed, as a complex character, Arthur Morgan. Sometimes you see yourself in him, because you are complex too, you know?
The choices that you made and get, yeah. I like choice-based games that reflect how you
Exactly.
acted.
Considering my life has never been really stable and it's been a rocky road, I've seen what, I guess, coarseness, being mean to people, bullying does, right? I've adapted a sort of mindset where no matter what, I'll try to be a passive but kind individual in every game I play. I'll try. So I played Red Dead Redemption 2 3 times. Always good. I could never put myself in the shoes of killing dogs and other stuff that you can do in the game to gain low honor.
Oh, you couldn't do the horrible things. You just didn't want
I couldn't do
yeah.
horrible things.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see it in myself to just shoot.
Shoot an animal.
You know, that's why the hell not. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I like narrative games. I like games that allow you to make your own choices, shape the world as you see fit to better, how would I say this? To help you enjoy it further, you know, immerse yourself in it. Like you have power to change the course of history, you know, even though it's not real life, it's still something you have power of. And if you always feel powerless at some point in your life, these types of games, I guess they show you what it means when you do have power. I guess they show you that depending on the choices you make, you can change the world in many different ways.
That's why Death Stranding is one of my favorite games. Because it taught me how much power I have as an individual to just be kind to someone else. To just extend, and also, it also taught me, and this is a big problem that I've had, I've said this before in my videos, you may have heard me say this before, it also taught me that isolation is not synonymous with strength. because you have no idea how long I thought being isolated just meant I was strong and that I wasn't dealing with my problems, and that's a good thing because I need to be stoic or whatever nonsense. Yeah, and then I played Death Stranding, and I was like, oh, this is actually a form of weakness.
But yeah, like, for me, games have been very instrumental in shaping how I am, especially since during those times that I played those different types of games, I met a lot of different people, which influenced me as well. And essentially, I became the person I am now. Usually, I cuss you all out and call you whatever the hell when I was the way I was back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Welcome
now I see you all as people. Disregarding what you may have, disregarding what disabilities, illnesses, looks, social standing, financial situation. I don't care. You are a person to me, and I will treat you with respect and everything else you deserve. That's what games and the people I met made me realize. That at the end of the day, just because we're not, we don't look the same, act the same, and live the same, that don't mean we're not people, and we shouldn't treat each other with respect, because at the end of the day, that matters. So, that's what games taught me.
So that's actually pretty meaningful, though, because games have taught me that, too. It just taught me really late in life, because I'm kind of stupid. So it just took me a really long time to catch on. But, that's very similar to what... okay, I don't know if you saw this video I released. It was called The Schizophrenic Gamer. And you can watch it if you want, but in it, I talk about... Actually, wait, is that one of the ones that's good? Yeah, that one's good quality. Go ahead and watch it. Sorry, there's some old videos I have that I'm like, don't watch them. But in it, I talk about how all these lessons, how Final Fantasy VII taught me to give a shit about the environment. And, I never cared about that. I was 11 years old when Final Fantasy VII taught me to care about the environment. And I remember in Tomb Raider 2, the game was like, oh, you killed 300 people. And it made me feel weird. I was like, why the fuck are you celebrating me just killing people, right? Those things taught me to be a better person as a child.